As humans, we like to customize our things. License plates, bobbleheads, stickers, bathtubs and showers, bicycles, toothbrushes, even our camper vans. But have you ever considered how powerful it could be to customize the way you organize? Today's video is going to be a lot of fun. First, we're going to explain a little bit more about the context-based next actions list. Then I'm going to give you 3 questions that you can ask yourself to help customize your list. And then finally, I'll provide some examples that hopefully will get you excited to take action and go ahead and create lists that will pretty much feel like magic because you won't be procrastinating all those things that are kind of hanging around out there that you know you need to get done. I want to emphasize that I don't think it's essential to be productive every minute of every day. We all need downtime, we need buffer, we need time to just relax. But I used to let a lot of time just kind of slip by, and I would end up checking my phone maybe 50 times a day. Have you done that? I'm guessing maybe you have. But once I applied the ideas I'm sharing today, I started utilizing those little pockets of time that would pop up, and things just started getting done so effortlessly. So I'm excited to show you how. I want to explain a little bit about the context-based next actions list. This is something that I learned from best-selling author David Allen, and I talk about it a lot here on the channel. But essentially, it is a weekly list that is organized by where we are when we're getting those things done. So the basic contexts that I use are home, phone, errands, computer, and to discuss. What's great about this list is you only put things on the list that are next actions, meaning they're not dependent on anything else happening first, and they can be done in about 10 minutes or less. So you literally could look at the list while you're at home and say, oh, there's 3 things I could do while I'm here at home. Write this card, fix this thing, hang up this picture, and then you can just go do them. You're not waiting for something else in order to make that possible. But sometimes people crowd their next actions list and put way too many things on it, and they don't end up checking off the list, and then they're wondering, why do I even have this list? So this is why we're going to customize yours. Here are 3 questions that you can ask yourself that will make this really, really simple. Question number 1, when do I typically have an open space? Where am I? What time of day is it when I typically check my phone, for example? Or when do I kind of zone out? Question number 2, what kinds of tasks could I do during that time? And question number 3, is there any prep work I would need to do to set myself up for success? I'm going to just walk through 8 really quick examples. And these aren't the ones that you necessarily will use, but I hope that this will give you some ideas. You may decide you just want to use the 5 contexts that I described previously, but you may also find that if you add in a couple more contexts, you're going to feel like everything just unlocked for you. Example number 1, let's say you travel a lot, so you're flying on airplanes maybe every week. You may want to have a little picture of an airplane on your list, and then the next actions that you could accomplish while you are either at the airport, on the airplane, right, that type of thing. Example number 2, maybe you have a little baby, and when your baby is awake and when your baby is asleep, you can get 2 totally different kinds of things done. You may want to have a baby asleep context, so when you really need that quiet time and focus, you know when to do it. Example 3, maybe you wait for someone a lot. I found that Eric and I end up waiting for each other often because we want to exercise together and kind of keep our morning routine, parallel. But sometimes he needs to wait for me or I need to wait for him. And I found I would be sitting somewhere for 10 minutes just kind of waiting for him. And so I found, if I have a little list of things to do while I'm waiting for Eric, that helps me use that time and then helps me be patient at the same time. A 4th example might just to have a little picture of a book and have that be, your reading list. Maybe there are a few books that you want to read and you're thinking, let me just write those down. So when I do have time to just pull out a book, then I have my list already. Example number 5, maybe your energy fluctuates a lot. So you think, I could do this errand if I had a lot of energy, but if I have low energy, I could do these errands. You could take any one of the contexts and just divide it up. Maybe it's your home context and say, if I'm home with low energy, I do these kinds of things. Home with high energy, I do these kinds of things. That just makes it a little bit easier so you don't have to look at your list and think, oh man, I can't do any of it. Example number 6 is one that's just applying to me right now this week. Eric and I have started doing weekly bike rides, and when we ride our bike to the end destination, I like to have maybe an hour or an hour and a half of work to do right then, because then I can do my work in a beautiful location, get back on my bike and finish the ride. So under the little bike, I can have, here are things that are easy to take with me. They can fit in a backpack and I can get those little work tasks done while I'm out. Number 7, maybe there are people in your household who enjoy watching TV and they want you to be hanging out with them. And maybe you don't love that show in particular, but you just want to be with the family. So you could have a list of things that you do while you're watching TV. Or maybe there's some art projects or things that you could just kind of do. I know people like to knit, or people like to paint. So having things that you could do during TV time could be another one. And one final context that I heard one of our members using that has been really helpful is a to pray about context. Maybe there's something that's on your mind and you find that you're constantly thinking of things that you're maybe worried about or trying to make decisions about. So if you can just have a to pray about list and you can write down those things that you want to discuss with your higher power, that gives you a place to actually put it and helps you remember when it is time for prayer, the things that are on your mind. One final recommendation before we close up, I recommend that you don't have too many contexts because you don't want a list that has 25 or 30 different contexts and then you never look at it. The goal is to get everything on your next actions list checked off by the end of the week. So what we're looking for is the optimal number of contexts to fit with our life and the optimal number of next actions in those contexts so they actually get done. And I find the shorter the list, the more I get done and the more energy I have. And then you can always add to the list later if you get it all checked off. So just keep it reasonable so this can be sustainable for you. I hope that you enjoy making your own customizations. I would love to hear about them in the comments. And please explore the other videos we have here on the channel. We're so excited to help you wake up excited and go to bed content. So grateful you're here, and please share this with your friends. Thanks, we'll see you soon.